Hello, everyone. Blue Star Saber here once again to give you another One Piece chapter review, chapter 1144, A Time for Warriors. This chapter is basically following off the events of the last chapter, in which we saw Sol desperate attempts to try and prevent the kids from being taken away by the God's Knight, while the giants, the giants are trying to put out the fire, particularly the fire force, only to be attacked by the giant imaginary monsters. We end up seeing the God's Knights sitting around enjoying their dinner, discussing what's going on, and talking about how the Straw Hats are here. While at the same time, we're also getting the Monster Trio and the new Giant Warrior Pirates. Restrain Loki as Loki starts to reveal to Hedruden that the death of their father is not what he seems to think. So yeah, quite a little bit of going on in the last chapter. So causing a bit of I suppose hype to find out which of these storylines would be followed through. Let's see if, at the very least one of them would be. Now anyway, but before we get into this chapter, as you can probably tell from the shared screen, we are first talking about the Uga Child Yamato's Golden Harvest Surrogate Pilgrimage, Volume 29. Minamoto, the cat carpenter, and the girls are freed, where basically you see Yamato has finally beaten up all of whose remaining subordinates, showing that, and now freeing all the sort of girls that are kidnapped. As you can see, they're crying and thanking Yamato, but Yamato's just smiling. We have Minato just crying tears of joy as Tama's untying the ropes with her. So it's she's just smiling, just glad that he seems to be all right. So yeah, basically it seems like the main conflict of this Yamato's cover story is basically covered. I do like how you got all the guards beaten up, one of them with a little bump down in the corner. You've got them all crying happy because it's they've all probably just been prisoners and forced to do whatever they were told. Let's see, with Minatomo seems to have been tied up with a rope. Let's see. Ooh, and you've got Aldi Zoni going yo, what's up? It's Aldi Zoni. Hello, Aldi Zoni. Thank you once again for joining us for another One Piece review. I've just finished giving my thoughts on this little cover story, and it seems like the climax of it is done. So we're probably just going to get back to Yamato's adventure of finishing the sword, unless Oda is making this a much more longer cover story than we expect. But at the moment, I feel like this one is done. Let's see. Nice you're taking my advice and feedback, and thanks, man. No problem. I just figured I would review, at the very least, use certain images to emphasize parts of the chapter I'm reviewing. Speaking of which, we are now on the begin with the summary of the chapter. The sort of chapter begins with Frankie being surprised by this giant mechanical what appears to be either robot head or laboratory, but as Gonko not Gonko. Ripley. Yes, Ripley. My mistake. Ripley is just saying, "Well, what do you think it is?" Let's see. Frankie's just, as she explains, it's been here for ages. It has been. Hold on. As she explains, it's been here for ages, but it looks like Frankie, to him, pure science. And she figured someone like Frankie would probably enjoy it, and more than anyone else. And it appears to be, some are theorizing it's a robot's head or actually a science facility doing in a kingdom of warriors. And Frankie's confused by why something like that is there. And you basically have Yamamoto. Let's see, not Yamamoto, sorry, I'm thinking of the cover page still. You've got Lilith and Bonnie popping up as they say hello, and Ritzy glad that they found them, as she was going to try and tell them later, with Bonnie talking about how cool the place is, with Frankie going surprised they're here. As they explain that they have gotten lost, and Let's see, and they're thanking them for finding them. But I guess Frankie does a little snide remark saying, I guess even a genius can be lost. Even though I'm pretty certain that your comrade is the one that's getting lost. And I've got a comment here saying, try putting thumbnails before or after the stream, including hashtags to put out there, and they bring a busy chat. Okay, fair enough. I could give that a try. Let's see. I'll probably try that next time if I can remember. But yeah, anyway, so you got Ripley explaining that they're glad that they ran across them, as she's been hearing alarms in the distance and dangers in the woods, so she needed to try and the robot looks like the Iron Giant. I have heard, let's see, that I have heard some comparisons to that, or at least some giant robot from some Japanese anime that I do not know about. I'm not entirely sure which one it is, but yeah. Yeah, I remember. I watched the Iron Giant quite a few times when I was a kid, so yeah, I remember the Iron Giant well. Let's see, arguably one of the best animated 2D animated films outside of Disney, but yeah. So anyway, where was I? She's glad that she was able to find them because they wanted to inform them about the dangers of the wood. Let's see the alarms going on. With Lilith feeling that she can hardly believe this place, and she's estimated that this building is 3,000 years old, which is older than any sort of relic that we have seen so far in One Piece, even older than Emmett the Iron Giant, if you will. Let's see, with Frankie being shocked by this, thinking that she must be lying, given how ancient that means, because it's like even more ancient than the Ancient Kingdom, if you will. And Ripley says that she can't really disagree with what Lilith is saying that Elbaf has no record of anything like this being built before. With her then deciding that it just makes it all the more worth studying, and she's thinking of settling down and living here, sort of, which I suppose makes sense. Let's see, but Frankie is asking, are you sure you're not going to get lost if you do so? Anyway, Frankie wants to check out inside too. But Bunny is suddenly being surprised, screaming, and then the others are asking what's wrong. As we see a little narration box of what I'm afraid of, lightning, as we see one of the menacing thunder clouds from the dream popping up, and everyone's shocked by how creepy it is. Frankie wondering, like, is this something on Elbaf that's a land of mystery? But Ripley reveals that this isn't a natural. Let's see, she doesn't know what it is, that it shocks even her. And we've got let's see, with Aldi Zoning saying Oda is telling us Imu's age. Possibly. Let's see, it is possible. Who knows? Imu might be older than we believe, but at the moment, we know at least Imu was around during we have a very good guess that Imu was around the Void Century. If it's before, then we do not know. I mean, we just see, but we're just getting more pieces to the puzzle. And Aldi's only going like, I always thought Imu was more than 16,000 years old, more than 3,000 years is wild. Yes, the 3,000 years is wild. Though, let's see. I suppose I'll give my overall thoughts on this part of the chapter, these 3 pages first, before going on to the next bit. Let's see. Of all the things that Oda to drop, which, to be fair, I thought, this is normally something I would expect from Oda to like drop as a cliffhanger for a chapter. It's the fact that, especially with the whole giant Emmet, is the fact that there's something ancient building or something like that, well, at least an ancient robot or laboratory or whatever this facility is something like it's 3,000 years old. At the very least, we've gotten 1,600 years of history at the very least. That's the earliest we've known. But we know. Well, granted, we do know Alabaster's capital was made, I think, 4,000 years ago. But this is the first thing in a while that has gone beyond the Void Century. And arguably, beyond what the 1600 calendar. And let's see, we have Aldi's only saying, so this one won't wake up for G5. That is very possible, unless, let's see. Now, granted, we do know that we have that sort of mural from 800 years ago, and then we've got those ancient texts talking about the first world. It's very possible that this ancient relic is a part of the first world before the red line came and split the sort of lands into continents. Let's see. And he goes like, "Cause it's dead." So at the very least, let's see, if it was a part of a giant robot, it seems like whatever was remained, let's see, is. But yeah, but at the very least, this is either a part of like the first world, which gives a hint that, okay, even back then, before like the Void Century, there was like the Great Kingdom. It seems that there was an advanced civilization lasted a much longer than we perhaps initially thought, because at the very least, we knew that probably after the first world, the ancient kingdom became the dominant power, and then they lost in the Void Century, and then the world government had, and it seems to be a sort of relapse in advanced technology, but it seems like there's been more advanced technology for thousands of years than before. Granted, we still do not know much of the mysteries of pre-Void Century, but I have no doubt, let's see, as we learn more of the Void Century, we'll get a bit more of lore and history of like what happened before then, which goes to show you that even if we get like the biggest mystery of One Piece revealed, the Void Century, we will still have some mystery and lore of One Piece that we have more of exploring even before then. So I do like that. With like I'll do something saying, so the ancient kingdom existed even before the first world. Very possible. It's very possible. At the very least, let's see. We have to wait and see exactly what happened, because I have heard some theorize that the Lunarians were like the dominant power before, let's see, I guess before the rise of the second world. So we'll have to wait and see what exactly Oda is making clear. But at the very least, he's giving us an even bigger history lesson than we perhaps imagined. At the very least, we know the ancient kingdom was dominant in the second world until like the Void Century. Pre that, we at the very least, it seems that at least there were more advanced technologies there. We just don't know if there was just still only the Great Kingdom, or if perhaps there was multiple advanced civilizations, but they all fell and then only the Great Kingdom remained. That's basically what I'm having to guess with like this thing here. But anyway, it seems that we're getting more of like I do like how we're exploring more of like Franky just exploring these ancient relics and like all this history and stuff with the Void Century. I'm really liking the fact that Franky's getting a bit of a plot line. Heck, he seemed to be getting a lot more of a plot line with Vegapunk, or at least one of the Vegapunks, than he ever did on Egghead, which many people thought that was going to be the case, but no, it seems like it's like he's doing more with Lilith here in Elbaf. So yeah. With Aldi, only says, yeah, I think the Lunarians and the Moon People and Ancient Giants were seen as higher ups than the current, let's see, CD. Fair enough. Yeah, I probably would agree there. But yeah. But I do like how we've got, let's see, Lilith, we're coming back to Lilith again after we learned that she was going to decide to stay here in Elbaf and possibly revive, Stellar Vegapunk, which, to be fair, I'm not really a fan of, but we'll have to wait and see where Oda's going with that, or like restoring Kuma. But at the very least, we're cutting back to Bonnie and Lilith. So let's see. But I do like how Lilith seems to have managed to gotten lost, and you got Franky doing a little joke like that. I'm surprised the Zoro joke hasn't come up. With Aldi Zoning saying, it was said that the Lunarians were the original owners and seen as gods in their time. So, which arguably, yes. After all, they're probably like the Witsi, who would make sense because they would probably have been the dominant race at the very least. Before, I guess you could say, mankind rebelled against them. as it seems One Piece has a history of people rebelling against gods, if you will. As this story is becoming clearly more of like the Straw Hats rebelling against the current gods, as it is the world nobles. But anyway, let's see. Besides the little joke, let's see, of Barney, I do like let's see, of Lilith being lost. I do like how Ripley is actually also aware that the alarms have gone off and wants to make sure that everyone's informed. But anyway, let's see. I've already gone about, Lilith talking about how this place is 3,000 years old. But I do like how she's decided, like, okay, if Lilith is going to stay here, this is where she's going to stay and explore and research this ancient technology. It'll be interesting to see what information Lilith finds out about this ancient robot, if you will, or at least ancient lab, facility, if you will, and what secrets she can find. Because arguably, if she's not joining the Straw Hats, at the very least, staying here and doing some role, I think, would be good more in the long term. We'll just have to wait and see more on what it does. But yeah. Let's see. With Aldi's only going, like, how did they even defeat a whole freaking civilization of Lunarians? Well, let's see. If I'm gonna have, are you referring to like humans back then, or are you talking about the world government? Because if I had to guess, I think, let's see, Mr. Morge did quite a good video talking about let's see, the history. And if he had to guess, it seems like when devil fruits were first, I guess, awakened, imagined, created, if you will, that might have been what, let's see, drove mankind to take advantage against the Lunarians, because they had all these powerful devil fruits. But if we're going to go with the world government, as we've seen with Emu, let's see, the heads of the gods' knights, let's see, the Figarlands, and with the five elders, let's see, as we saw in Zoro's fight, let's see, you arguably need some form of King's Conqueror's Haki in order to take on the Lunarian. So it's very possible that there was enough of the 20 kings back then that had Conqueror's Haki to combat and fight the Lunarians. So that's probably my best guess. Let's see, as Alcide only says, because there's nowadays nowhere near to be seen as king for as far as only one. Let's see, and you need durability negotiation, bruv. How do they goddamn? Let's see. Well, like I said, either when mankind rebelled, they got enough devil fruits to help fight back against that, probably. Let's see, likely, of course, like Nika. And then, of course, if I had to guess, with the Celestial Dragons or the 20 Kingdoms, there's enough, given what we've seen of the current, let's see, world nobles, with how many people have seemingly have Conqueror's Haki, there's probably a few that had that kind of strength that could take on Lunarians. But I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. I'm sure that Oda will explain how the Lunarians would be bested. But anyway, let's see. I do like how we're probably going to have Lilith and Frankie do a lot of things in this facility for at some point. But before that, they've got to deal with this lightning cloud. And I do like how Frankie first, okay, this must be a wonder of Elbaf, but nope. I like how Ripley says this is not natural. So these lot are going to be fighting a thunder cloud, which I'm fine with. Now, granted, we do know that Ripley said that thunder was the weakness of Elbaf, so let's see. It'll be interesting to see how she and Frankie try and take this thunder cloud down. But yeah, and with Aldi's only going like true, because there are some devil fruits out there that can negate the durability. Yeah, and yeah, Green Bull is a good example. So yeah, you probably got like as devil fruits were first being popped in the world, you probably got like the strongest, most powerful that we've seen, like the Logias, the Quake fruit, the Mythical Zonian, those types of devil fruits. They're shown to be extremely powerful. So it's very likely some of those devil fruits were used against the Lunarians. But yeah. When they were but we'll have to wait and see more in that regard. But yeah. But anyway, I do like how we got one of the thunder clouds. Let's see. Ritzy fighting Ritzy Franklin Ripley's group, since, like I said, she talked about Elbaf's weakness, so we'll see how she'll try and deal with that weakness at the very least. At the very least, I can see Frankie and Ripley teaming up with this, but Barney, I can't recall if she was afraid of lightning or not. I think she might have been, but yeah, at the very least, you got Frankie. You probably get Frankie, even if it's just like a brief skirmish, probably dealing with this thundercloud. Anyway, moving on to the next part. Let's see. Here we go. Here we go. We've got we're back at the Western Village, where we've got another narration box of What I'm Afraid Of, Dragware, where we've got like the skeleton warrior going there, as giants are trying to get each other to sober up and face each other with weapons. Let's see. I was shocked that the firefighting server down, and some of them starting to recognize that it looks like a dragger to them, like a dang zombie. Let's see. Let's see, as Aldi's only goes like, my boy Colin. Yes, fair enough, but yeah. You got to see the giants realizing that this must be related to children's daydreams, how, and wonder what's happening with that. With the giants asking where the captains are, saying that someone needs to take command. And we reveal that apparently they got too drunk that they had to rush to the bathroom, and they're like, what? And Brooke has one of my favorite moments in this chapter where he's going like, that looks awfully familiar. Is it some like enormous version of him? So he's like wondering, is this some giant skeletal form of me? But anyway, the giants tell the Straw Hats that since they're their visitors, they should stay out of the conflict as they deal with this. Let's see. But Usopp tries to say, hold on, don't treat us like kids, and goes like the silent whisper saying, we want to fight too, with Jinbei saying, you sound awfully quiet when you said that. With him talking about how it doesn't seem like business as usual in Elbaf to the others. As you hear one of the giants say, no, Colin, you can't. And we've got a little narration box from Aldi Sonny saying, yeah, I agree. They must have been the most dominant race because of their dual ability. Yep, fair enough. I just think it was just finishing off. Let's see what he was talking about earlier with like the Lunarians. But let's see. I'm just going to go back to some other comment here. So yeah, but you see Colin grabbing one of the giants, saying, "Why not? He's a warrior too. He wants to fight," and says he can't. And he tries to go like he's the son of Gabon. With a giant saying, but yeah, you're not Gabon, and says, go find the safety with the rest of the children and stay put. And Collins is pushed aside afterwards. Nami then goes to Jarl, and as he goes like, what is it? As Nami says that she has something important that they need to tell you about, and apologizing for not bringing it up earlier. As we cut a little bit to like I assume a few minutes forward after an explanation, with him being pretty surprised apparently that there's an intruder that looks like Shanks in the castle. As you get the two giants saying, yes, sir, the pair are incredibly strong. And one of them explaining that they used strange powers. And we got another comment from Aldi's only saying, wait, I only see Colin on my screen, but no other panels. Yeah, I am just keeping to this one panel just to get to like what I'm talking about. But I decided to just like use certain panels and rather not use the full-on chapters. But yeah, that's just how I'm doing it. Jinbei says that the quickest answer to explain most mysteries in the world is, of course, devil fruits of some kind. And if the phenomenons are unfamiliar to you, then there's a good chance those folks are behind it all. With Jarl commanding the giants saying that inform the entire country that two humans unrelated to the Straw Hat crew have infiltrated. With him going like, oh, okay. Telling them that, inform him once they have been found, as you've got one of the giants marching off. And Brock going like, do you really think that there are just two of them causing all these strange phenomenons? And he does quite the interesting thing saying that perhaps we should expect more. at the very least 2, which it seems Brock is very much correct, since we've got at least 4 Guards Knights that have so far been to Elbaf recently. And and you've got like Aldi something saying, so the Furies are debunked, especially for the Elders. I assuming you're referring to like the Elders being traitors to Elbaf, being traitors to like Elbaf, as like being spies for like the world nobles and the world governments working with them. I assume that's the theory you're talking about, which if that's the case, arguably that might be the case if Jarl is informing Giants, informing everyone that they need to know, unless you could argue he's playing along with the role for the time being, but who knows? With Aldi's only saying, they're telling us through that Jimby and the Elders do not have devil fruits, in fact. To be honest, okay. Okay. Oh, you're talking about the 5 Elders. Oh, yeah, they don't. Let's see. I don't know if that debunks them having theories of them having devil fruits or not, but okay. Oh, you're saying that they might actually have devil fruits? We still don't really know the full extent of what the 5 Elders can do. At the very least, they have devil fruit-like abilities, but we don't know if it's because they ate devil fruits themselves, or if this is some power of Emu. So it's yokai, but their transformations are maybe in the anime names something else than devil fruits. Yeah, we'll have to wait and see what happens there. No, they don't got devil fruits. It's what I'm saying. Oh, okay, my mistake. Okay, my mistake. Apologies. Yeah, this very well with Jimbo's, let's see, words saying if it's devil fruits, it's something else. So it's clear that at the very least the world government or the Slash of Dragons have something that can create powers similar to devil fruits, but we don't know what it is at the very least yet. But yeah. Anyway, Nami talks about how she doesn't know who these people are, but doesn't like the fact that they're kidnapping children, which is, of course, very in character of them. Thinking it's a despicable thing. And Usopp going like, let's see, they're definitely going to demand something from Elbaf, but what? Let's see, because they're going to help. Let's see, because there's the only reason why they probably held kids hostage. And he's never really heard of an abduction like this. With Giles saying that it will not come to pass, and let's see, I think it's Jinbei asking to just give us a ship and something to move around, but Giles says that you guys are our guests, just stay hidden here. The Straw Hats protest, with Giles trying to find where Doggy and Broggy are, but being informed that they're still in the bathroom from like their drunkenness, with Joel going like, what a bunch of lightweights there are, which is kind of funny to hear. And then you get like Jinbei saying if the targets are human size, they'll have an easier time looking for them and all that. But Usopp agrees, but saying that the big guys fight the big guys, saying that they'll search for the intruders. But Brock points out that Elbas is too huge to cover by themselves. Nami notices Colin pulling out the weapons, and after a brief exchange, it seems like Colin realizes that they're not going to stop him, and they want to actually ride with him. But he demands that they're the captain, which Nami finds adorable, as he declares that we're off, telling them that they're now the Colin pirates and to their crew to man off. With Usopp pointing out that you're the biggest one here as he shouts onward. And we've got a bit of comments here saying, even though it was kind of obvious that they don't got devil fruits by Oda, not include these categories, for example, bird fruit, mythical type, Marcus Mars, yokai transformation, forgot the names. Okay. Something yokai fur, okay. And new mode activated drunken Usopp. Yes, Usopp seems to be getting a new drunken mode. But it says so far, Soga King is still better. Arguably, yes, but I'm not sure we're going to see the Sniper Kings form anytime soon, if you will. Anyway, where was I? Oh yes. Anyway, my thoughts on this part. I do like You Sleepy. Well, it is kind of late here, but I am gonna make sure that I review this chapter with as little yawning as possible. I apologize for that yawn. And anyway, I do like how the Giants is like getting ready to fight the dagger thing, and I do like that they're able to recognize that okay, this is a dagger that kids have dreamed up, and that they need to prepare for battle, but they need the captains around. But unfortunately, Dory and Broggy have gotten drunk, which it's too drunk that they're puking up right now. So it's like really worse timing for them to just disappear when these lot need some leadership. It seems at least, but I sneezed. I'm not sure if I did actually. Oh, did I sneeze? I don't recall. Doesn't feel like I don't feel like I sneezed. Who knows? Maybe I did a hiccup or something, but okay. Anyway, I do like how Bretzi, oops. Okay, cough. Okay, so it's probably a cough. But I do like I said earlier, I do like the joke that Brock is just like, this skeleton is this skeleton supposed to be me? Which, to be honest, I am kind of expecting Brock to fight the skeleton, or at least something like that, but who knows? But anyway, I do like how let's see. It's interesting how the Giants are telling the Straw Hat crew to just stay out this fight, but of course they're a Yonko crew. They're not going to stay. They're not going to stick around. They're going to stand around. They're going to go out to fight. I do like Usopp's little moment of like saying he wants to fight, but trying to do it in a quiet voice, which I do love that Jinbei points out that part, which goes to show you that Usopp's still willing to fight, even if he's a little drunk, but he still has that little bit of a cowardly side to him still, as this is happening. But yeah. Let's see, and I do like how you've got like characters like Jinbei. Let's see, Oda foreshadowing Giant Brook. Could Brook become a giant? Oh, I'm not sure. I don't know if there's anything as devil fruit powers. Let's see, devil fruit powers that would allow him to grow to the size of a giant. I guess if that sort of happened, it'd have to be via someone else's powers. But yeah, maybe increases his soul form to giant mode. That could be what Etsy Brock does. So, like, get a giant, like, spiritual figure of his ghost behind him. Who knows? That could be possibly an awakening or something. But yeah, but I do like how we've got like the Straw Hat's very involved with like the Etsy in this part. Etsy Brock with his joke, and then making the case that there might be more than two Gods Knights here. Jinbei sort of like let's see, Jinbei sort of realizing that this gotta be some sort of devil fruit powers. Let's see, taking part. Nami deciding to inform. Let's see, Joe of what they encountered with like those. Let's see, with the apparently Shanks look alike that two of the guards did. So I do like all that, and I do like how they're all deducing what's going on and willing to help, but of course the Giants are like, nope, you stay out of this. So it seems like the rest of the Straw Hats have got to try and prove themselves, even without their captain, that they are Yonko crew. I do like how you got like Colin throughout the whole bit. Let's see, wanting to go to like help let's see, fight for Elbaf, but they're like, no, you're too young, and then they just encounter the Straw Hats and them just encounter, and then like decide, okay, we're both being benched, so let's work together to try and solve this problem. So I do like that, but I do like how Colin demands that he be captain of the crew, this little mini crew that's formed up, calling them after himself. Which there's no way the Straw Hats, of course, staying with this crew, but I do like how Nami just finds how Colin's behavior to be a bit adorable here. So we've got that, but yeah. And Aldi Zone says, "Oh, what do you think about him later in Elbaf being gigantified by the owl to fight an ancient giant warrior, something like that?" Are you talking about Brooke, Usopp, or Colin? Because Colin, I think he's too young to probably take on an ancient giant. But if it's like, say, Usopp or Brooke, yeah, I'm down for it. No, I think it'll probably be more like Brooke. I mean, Usopp, since Elbaf's supposed to be his arc. So I do like how we've got this little subplot with these remaining Straw Hats trying to help the children, even when they're told not to. So there's that. So that'll probably get them into conflict with the Golden Knights soon. This is one of the benefits of when you're having like Luffy, Zoro, and Sanji away, is because these characters get a more chance to shine, as well as put a sense of danger without like the captain around. With Aldi Sunny says, "It's an emotional why I don't like this of Colin Wilder. He's making us connect to Colin, man, especially me." I will admit, it does seem that Colin's becoming like the sort of ritzy PvP or young prince or princess type archetype figure that Oda does in these arcs. So who knows? Okay. If one of those God's Knights touch Colin, I'm going to crash out. Who knows? We'll have to wait and see. I have no doubt that Colin's going to encounter with the God's Knights, but what they do to him, I'm not. Let's see. Oh, you're talking about Brock. Who knows? That could be a possible thing, but yeah, we'll have to wait and see in that regard. So yeah. So yeah, I like that that the other Straw Hats are doing stuff right now. So yeah. Anyway, the next part of the chapter we get back to the God's Knights, as we see Gunko listening into some music here, and she seems to be enjoying herself, which, as you hear the giant saying, "Message to all the Sun world, the humans unrelated to Straw Hat Crew have been spotted at August Castle." As narration goes, like, they have demonstrated overt, hostile, and are considered, well, dangerous, but you get that part caught off. As you got, I think someone is just laughing about apparently Gunko's post-ritual meal, with her explaining that it's not really that, it's not really a ritual, she just likes listening to music. With Sama's going like, "TDS, huh? I prefer listening to the live musical performance." Another flubs a note first, so I guess you could say St. Sama's is a bit of an opera fan, if you will, or stage fan, but yeah. But he goes like, "It's nice to have a hobby and you can carry around with you," asking what song that you like so much, with Gunko surprisingly saying New World, which is, of course, anyone that's a One Piece fan knows that that's the song Brock sung in the last concert. Let's see, some will think the anime gave an idea what the lyrics are, but the manga did not, so who knows? He goes like, "Leave my little bro Colin alone, Summers, or else." We'll have to wait and see in that regards, but yeah. Speaking of Summers, he makes a laugh about how, "Gunko, do you have a problem with the current world?" Of Killer Ham just going like, "Don't make fun of other people like that, Summers." And you get Summers apologizing for we've got like Aldi Summon says, "I hear I hope they animate this in a way people are going to make edits with her being a background, maybe Chilling 5 music." You're probably going to get something like that. Who knows? But so you got Killian just telling Summers not to make fun of other people's tastes, which he goes like, "Okay, yeah, you're right, sorry," and going like, "Hey, look, the adults are trying their hardest to save the kids." As you get oops, hold on. We've gone like, "What you're sipping back there sounds tasty." Oh, that's just a bottle of water. I sometimes drink water in the middle of streams to help keep my voice going and not dry too much. So yeah. Let's see. It's just plain water. It's just plain water. Let's see, nothing more than that. It's just to help me keep talking and let's see, focus on the chapter. Anyway, so we see now Saul's got 2 shields to try and keep him safe and stop the kids. So it's he's using them as blocking shields, if you will, with Chopper and Robin telling him good luck. As you see the kids start moving towards him. With Saul realizing that they're following this stationary cloth thingy, and that realizes that the cloth is heading to the fire. So he's going to try and stop them now, because if he doesn't, they're going to die. And it looks like he's managed to stop one of the kids, but then another one bumps into her, damaging her, and this horrifies Saul, as he just wails in despair, saying, "No, I'm sorry, Yava Scaled." Let's see. And asking, "Are you back there, Oliver?" With I think either Chopper or Robin saying, "What a disaster! If you stop one, the others damage each other with the spikes." With Robin talking about how this is let's see, wait. You're going "Oh yeah, I do that when I'm streaming, dab me up." Okay, fair enough. So you also take a sip, but yeah. Anyway, Robin discovers about how despicable it is that the God's Knights are doing this, with her saying that the only option is to search for whoever's powers these are. Let's see, asking if the other nearby, with So going let's see, saying that the kids will counters this by saying the kids are going to throw themselves into the fire while they search if they do this. So he's going to try anything he can. Grabs a rope from one of the kids from behind, if you will. Talk about how, let's see, we should start pulling him from the back, and he realizes he's got one in the lines. He got the thorns spiking out, but since he's using a rope, it's not affecting him. Let's see, and he's just realized, okay, we just got to peel him off one at a time. But as he looks up, he sees what I'm afraid of, imagination, Fernia, the sort of wolf monster, looking like he's about to find Frankie a sort of delicious meal, if you will. With them so going are they working together somehow? Let's see, wondering who's controlling this thing and from where. The Chopper's going ah! As you get back to the school where someone says, "Mr. Principal, it's not just the Western Village. Other villages are reporting back about some of the monsters," saying that this is happening all over Elbaf, with the principal going it seems these are devil fruit powers at work, saying we must identify the culprits. As she says, they agreed, and well, we got one last panel on the page. I'm going to give my thoughts on this part of the chapter here. Okay, I will admit it's interesting that we're learning more and more about Gunko. She seems to be the most fleshed out of the God's Knights so far. Hold on, I'm just about to Sorry, I thought I was about to sneeze there for a second. Anyway, where was I? Ah, yes. We got some comments from Aldi's only saying Cowboys are in the beginning, or in the building, and then they're going so far Robin hasn't really done much, to be honest. Let's see, excluding the mural. I'll get back to that in a second. So I do like how Gunko is just listening in to music while reports about, the God's Knights being here are being reported. I do like how we got the sort of in more of the interactions with Summers and Gunko, with Gunko just being amused by this sort of ritual apparently. With Aldi's only saying character building gone well about older. So yeah, I definitely say a lot of character building has been going on quite well with Elbaf, particularly with the God's Knights, with Summers teasing about this being a ritual, but she says that's not the case. And I do like how we learn what Summer's preference in entertainment is a little bit, where he prefers live musical performances, if you will, and a few other things that are rather violent, but yeah. Oops, we got another comment saying, people don't like it, but I do. Okay, fair enough. Let's be glad you like it at the very least. Let's see. Anyway, he eventually ends up asking about the song, and the surprising thing is that Gunko says that the song is New World, which of course is Brooks. So I believe I've heard some saying that this Ritzy might be building more ties to the fact that Gunko is actually a clone of Bonnie's mother, and that's probably why Kuma is alive and still dealing with this sort of storyline, if you will, as you're probably going to get some form of I guess you could say Bonnie's mother reuniting, but I could be wrong in that part. It could just be something else, but yeah. But I think this is leading more to theories about Gunko eventually defecting from the Gods Knights and becoming more of a enemy of them. But we'll have to wait and see in that sort of theory there. With Aldi Sony says, because now it normally does it in with the middle of the arc. Yeah, that is true. Let's see. Brock fan, I see. Yeah, I'm a fan of Brook. But yeah, I do like how you've got Summers just try and tease Lilith about, I mean, not Lilith, I mean Gunko about what his favorite, what her rituals are and music tastes are. But I do like how Killerham is basically trying to be the voice and reason, saying, don't laugh at what people like or not like, which he does end up agreeing to. Oops, we got another comment here saying, Gunko, Bonnie, mother, yeah, you never know. Yeah, the only other theory I can think of is that Gunko might be Kid's childhood friend, and let's see, that was allegedly killed, and then afterwards he set sail after conquering the island. But yeah, who knows? We'll have to wait and see what type of theory it is. It's either one or the other, but we'll have. But yeah. Ooh, and then we got another comment from Audi Zone saying, so far he's introducing the stars of this arc so far. I'll give you true, but let's see. Which makes me really hyped for when possibly Redhead Pirates finally arrive. If her going like, I always thought she was at Victoria. Okay, fair enough. Are you talking about from Nickelodeon days? But anyway, whereas you got Saul doing, I don't like how he's trying to use Kid and Killer. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Let's see, Gunko being Victoria. Oh, so you think that? Yeah, Kid and Killer's crush. You think that Ditzy Gunko is that? Who knows? It seems like it is interesting because it seems like an interesting theory, but it seems like not many people are talking about this, thinking it's more like to do with Bonnie's mom. But who knows? Either way, I do think both the Kid Pirates, or at least Kid, and let's see, Bonnie and Kuma, each of them have like a role to play in this arc, but we just don't know what yet. Arguably, whatever Gunko's identity will probably be what either one of these two groups will probably be dealing with in the time of this arc. But who knows? We'll have to wait and see how it goes down. But yeah. Anyway, where was I? Oh yes, I do like how Saul tries to use two shields to like block the kids and prevent them going further, but Summers, being the cruel sadistic he is, has managed to make that the thorns will grow and damage other kids if they walk straight forward, if they do not continue to walk down the path they are. So it's like there are no choice but to try and either let them pass or be consumed by the fires. So I like the despair you have on Saul's face when you see all that stuff. But I also like how Robin just horrified by the world nobles' plans here. With I do like how she's like tries to come up with a solution about using their Devilfoot powers to find this person, but I do like how the Giants also use the logic of Let's see, with the giant soul commenting like, we don't really know the options of like what's going on, and the kids are more of the priority to rescue rather than finding some guy that might be difficult to find. We do get a few relics, I think, from the Avatar shown here. But yeah, but at the very least, I do like how so see it's trying. Okay, I can't block from the front. I'm going to try and pull them separately from the back, and it does seem like it's working. But of course, they have to deal with a giant, let's see, monstrous wolf. So it's not going to be easy for them, and it's going to be a lot more of a challenge because it's like, how can a kid pull the kids away if you got like this monster they have to fight at the same time? So yeah, I do like that part. Well, these only goes like, I think it was said that she died, and which was led Kid to having a grudge against Shanks because his kill looked like him. And people say it could be Shamrock, but I don't think he would go so far just to kill her. Who knows? It could very well possibly that might be the backstory, and it might be the fact that Shamrock kills Victoria, but it might just be of like just the wrong place, wrong time for Victoria because God's Knights will kill, or World Nobles will kill whoever they want. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see in regards to that. With her going like, I think it was blamed on Shanks. Framed. Oh yeah. Who knows? It's very possible that now that we got like a confirmation that Shanks is an evil twin brother, that any evil deed that Shanks done might be related to Shamrock. But we'll have to wait and see in that regards. Anyway, I do like how like you got like whoops. Basically like movie red, yes, possibly like that. Anyway, I do like how the principal and the teacher are discussing everything that we have just said, and also a few little extra things like certain ports and villages, I guess. I know some people think that Angie might be the traitor, but we'll have to wait and see in regards to that when it comes to God's Knights. But yeah. But yeah, we've got like the giants fighting, some of them seemingly knocked out by the Draga, but thinking that they're not supposed to exist. And it seems they're having difficulties fighting just one of them, so yeah. With Aldi, somebody says, I kind of haven't seen Kiba because he's with Sol and Ange. Okay, fair enough. When I think of Kiba, granted, I'm not sure which series to talk about because when I think of Kiba, I think of Kiba from Naruto. Okay, it was like, where's my wolf? Because Chopper didn't treat his wounds, or at least a panel. We'll have to wait and see. If I had to guess, those wild animals that befriended Loki are probably dead now. We'll have to wait and see. Anyway, the giants are struggling. Then comes like the fire-breathing dragon, which we got narration saying what I'm afraid of, Nigahogger, as giants the Fang Kings are just having a lot, they're more crush in this sort of conflict as they're saying it's no use, there's too many monsters. As you see, like the ghost monster, with them going like, we can't protect the village, flee to your house lives. With Dory and Brookie going like, it's our turn today. Brookie, and he goes like, indeed. And Prince, as we got like a comment here saying Principal Kiba. Okay, fair enough. It goes like, the giant with the hammer uppercut the snake. Fair enough. I assume you're assuming solo leveling. And Aldi zoning saying what you say. Sorry, what part was it that you didn't quite hear what I said? I'm just curious. You said... Did I? Wait, what? I would not say that word. Apologies. If it sounded like I said something like that, I apologize to anyone. But Oh yeah, I'm probably talking about the Dragars. Let's see, the giants having trouble. Fighting this Dragars. So yeah, and now you've got like a fire breathing dragon, and now a giant ghost also to deal with. So oh yeah, you've got. Oh yeah, this might be the name where I've said it. There's Nidhogger. I'm probably pronouncing it wrong. You probably have to get someone from Norse mythology, but some of the giants see to sign and say they need to give up. This is too many, and saying they can't protect the village, saying them to flee for their lives. But you got Doggy and Brookie getting their weapons drawn, saying it's their turn, and you see them do the iconic Gaku sovereignty, and they're able to one-shot both the ghost, the dragon, and what appears to be another one of those other monsters in their imaginations with that Viking warrior, possibly Loki or someone else. And you got like Aldi somebody says, Nabu didn't say that word, it's because the gap you're trying to pronounce the word. Okay, fair enough. Okay, so yeah, my bad in that. Okay, so it's where I'm pronouncing it. Apologies about that. Okay, yeah, that's where I probably went wrong there. I apologize. Let's see. I hope YouTube will not demonetize me for like a mistake like that, but we'll have to wait and see. But anyway, all the monsters that were there at the time are getting one-shotted by the two giant warrior captains. You got Silverlane saying, yes, the captains. I mean, the giant pirate crew. As you got people who are amazed by the great Eric Sava edition. Let's see, as the giants pronounce that, they're not going to let you get, you're going to get it now, all your monsters. Going like, why bother to sober up? As you got Dougie and Brookie apologizing, saying, sorry for taking so long. We had to puke up all the drowning, such same that they had. And Dory and Brookie's going like, well, we'll exterminate all those monsters. You folks help the children. And not only is it just them on the ship, but you also got like, nah, no problem. Fair enough. But you also got now Scarpagaban with his axe. With the giants ask what it looks like, Mr. Yar, the Mountain Eater. Let's see, with him shouting that this ship is unstoppable as the giant warrior pirates, led by Doggy and Brookie, allied with Scarpagaban, are now taking on these imaginations from like the God's Knights, ending the chapter. Which, oops, I've just realized that I have not cut to this scene here with the Hikaku sovereignty, so you can see the ghost and the dragon being taken out, and this other dude here. So yeah, let's see. And he goes like, YouTube. Oops, we got let's see, comment saying YouTube, please don't demonetize it. Nigga go. I'm not going to try and pronounce it. Sorry, just in case I accidentally say the wrong word. But yeah, so you got that. Yeah, I do like how let's see, we're getting a glimpse of these like imagination monsters that are capable of fighting and taking down some of the more, I guess you could say, background giants, which to be fair is still a pretty impressive feat because we've seen what giants can do against the Busticle in the last arc. So yeah. Yeah, I'm not gonna try and pronounce it now. So I'm just gonna say fire breathing dragon from now on. I apologize, everyone. My pronunciation of the word is just awful. I apologize. I do not mean any offense. So but yeah, I do like how the giants are struggling against like it, and then of course they got to deal with the fire breathing dragon, which is not helping as well. And with the ghost coming up, it's like let's see. They've got more and more monsters to deal with. It's getting a lot more trouble for them as this battle against the monsters is getting a lot more tough. But of course, Dougie and Bruggy, being like arguably the strongest giants below Loki at the very least, have come in to save the day and taking out these giant monsters, which they should be taking out. But it's always nice to see them, and it's like building up hype that, yay, these guys are come here to rescue us and all that. So I do like how they are just like, got the whole crew ready and they're ready to start fighting. So it looks like the Battle of Elbaf, or as Rhea is about to begin, with the giant warrior pirates coming about. But also the fact that you got Scapa Gabon coming in and joining the fray as well, which arguably, which probably might lead to that theory that discussed from last Ruritzi stream that Gabon's going to fight St. Summers for a bit, but we'll have to wait and see. Let's see. Okay. A correction. He's the dragon is breathing lightning, which is weird. But okay, I suppose it is kind of weird. I guess it depends. On one hand, it's not the typical stereotypical fire dragon, but there are like lightning dragons and myths and all that. So who knows? We'll probably get to see more of that. But yeah. I do like how you're probably going to get Scapa Gabon at least fighting St. Somers for a bit, but of course you're probably going to get him more as like Sanji's final opponent. Of him like Scapa Gabon joining in the battle earlier than I expected, to be honest, which to be fair, I will admit there is a bit of a surprise after like the brief skirmish with Luffy and Zoro, but I guess it's like he was never really injured in that fight, and it's like okay. We gotta go. I'm gonna head off now. It's like, okay, kids are being kidnapped. I gotta help out. So yeah, arguably you're gonna probably see all these imagination monsters get beaten, which probably means one of the God's Knights is gonna need to directly intervene. And yet Aldi's only says, yeah, I agree. He will fight Summers for a bit, then the Sanji. So yeah, so that bit's going there. So yeah. So overall, I'd say for this chapter, I'd give it probably an 8 out of 10. Let's see. I do like how we got like the sort of ancient facilities at the beginning, but I do. Let's see. But it does definitely feel like something that you would see in the climax of one of this chapters, given how we've got like Emmett the giant robot, and then of course the Muriel. But no. But I do like how we've got the more mysteries of like the Void. Let's see, more than just the Void Century. We've got things from like 3,000 years ago to explore. Let's see. Yeah, see, and you think they're going to kidnap Colin too. Okay, so you basically think, which I guess could make sense. The God's Knights capture Colin. This forces Gabon to like not fight at full maximum or like pause for a bit and then get taken out. But like standard let's see, storytelling 101, I believe. But yeah. Aldi's only giving it a 7.4. Okay, fair enough. That is an interesting score. I can probably see that. Let's see, working there. But yeah, I like the sort of like interactions that you saw the Straw Hats doing with Frankie, be it with like the ancient robot thing or lab. Brock and Jinbei deducing that okay, this is Devil Fruit powers, and there's at least 2 or more God's Knights. Nami informing Jal that they found like some red-haired imposters around. Colin wanted to fight, but then can't, and the Straw Hats being sidelined, where they'd like decide to work together. So I do like seeing that. So that's a positive as well. Let's see, other than that, we've got a bit of like learning a bit more about Gunko with her interests in music, and apparently she likes New World, which is a song that Retty created to celebrate Luffy's return. But yeah. Oops, we got another comment from Aldi. So it says, notice how there are more than one of the same nightmares. So, oh yeah, I forgot that little aspect. So, it seems that at the very least, certain nightmares are being created more as more of like foot soldiers, which makes sense because it's like you're up against an army of giants. You probably need as many of these giant imagination creatures as much as possible. So that's probably why the kids have been put to sleep thinking about their nightmares. Let's see. So with Aldi's only saying, so Shamrock has left. I thought it was pretty obvious that he had left at the moment like the other two God's Knights arrived, as he was called to come back to HQ, which I think Mr. Morge realized that he's going to take theorizes that he's going to take his father's place as the head of the God Knights, as he's now like a member of the World Nobles. But I could be wrong on that front. But yeah. So yeah. Anyway, Gunko's taste in music, new world, possibly hinting that possibly she's going to turn against the God's Knights eventually and the Celestial Dragons. Maybe tie into Bonnie and Ginny and Kuma, but we'll have to wait and see. Let's see, seeing how Saul sort of like all Saul's attempts to try and stop the kids are failing. Now, granted, I'm still surprised that the chapter's yet to address why ain't Nika Robin using her Devilfoot powers to stop them. But if I had to guess it, maybe the fines would hurt them. But who knows? We'll have to wait and see. In that regards. With him going like Harry Leave, I assume with black magic teleportation. But yeah, that's probably more or less what it is. Let's see, to spare the kid. Let's see, Saul has trying to stop the kids with like what thinking he has one solution only for another more worse solution to come up. But yeah, though granted, I will admit, I will say that this part of the chapter is weakest because you're not seeing Robin do anything when you could probably let's see, Robin could use her devil fruits to help the kids. And thank you, yeah, you're fun to talk to and mention on these streams as well. But yeah. And of course, finally, we're seeing the imagination of these giant creatures, be it the ghost, the lightning breath dragon, let's see, the skeletal warrior, if you will. Let's see, as probably more and more kids are thinking of these nightmares, but yeah. But at the very least, I do like how the giant pirates have come in and help arguably turn the tide of this current, let's see, stage of battle to go on while the Straw Hats either busy with Loki or trying to help find the kids with Colin, and they can't go out in public. But yeah, either way, yeah, arguably this is probably starting a long relationship between Batman and I guess Superman sidekicks. But yeah, but anyway, overall, like I said, about an 8 out of 10. I enjoyed the chapter. It may not be the best, it may not be as hyped as the others, but still pretty good, especially with the Scott Bakaban at the end coming in, and we're going to see what he's going to fully do, perhaps. So yeah, or at least get a general idea of it. So yeah, I enjoyed these. So that's generally my thoughts. Aldi Zoni, thank you for being here. And we got one more comment saying, he looking at the screen, subscribe now. This man skipping his sweep slumber for you all. Thank you. But which is, like I said, I've given my thoughts and hope you all enjoyed what I had to say. And I need to probably head off now. So thank you all for listening and goodbye. See you next time as I review the next chapter of One Piece when the official scans come out. But for now, I am Blue Star Saber signing off. Goodbye, everyone. Chat later.